Disclaimer, I am not a lawyer. Friday the 13th is a Paramount film and belongs to New Line Cinema, Platinum Dunes, Paramount, and their respected owners. This video is in accordance to the copyright law and follows the 5 points of the fair use clause in the copyright law.
Senator, it worries me that people are running my country who believe in a talking snake.
You don't have to pass an IQ test to be in the Senate, though.
There were.
Be real.
Mom, you're just in time for supper, dear.
You're not my mother. My mother doesn't have...
buttons?
We just weren't ready. I didn't want to be liable for the death of a friend.
Did you know a young boy drowned here? He was my son. And today is his birthday.
You won't believe my parents' cabin.
Here we are. Pretty nice, huh?
All right, you ready?
Let's do it!
Yeah!
Oh my God!
Hey, I'm not from around here, but I'm looking for my sister. She's gone missing. Have you seen her?
She ain't missing. She's dead. People go missing around here, they're gone for good. There's something out there.
We gotta get out of here. Come on, you guys. Oh my God.
This place is called Camp Crystal Lake.
Joe, you in there?
Police, open up!
Help! We got the guy killing everybody!
His name was Jason. And today is...
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Spidey's Movie Madness. One full week of movie reviews leading up to the review of the highly anticipated Watchmen. So let's keep things moving along with the next movie in line, Friday the 13th. In 1980, Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees graced the silver screen to bring fear and entertainment to the mass audiences. The first movie made record profit and made Jason a cult horror movie icon along with Michael Myers, who started the slasher trend we know today. Since then, Jason has become a horror movie staple, turning out a new movie once a year as Saw does today. After the fourth movie, the creators let Jason go due to a lack of new ideas, but others picked up Jason and continued his adventures as a killing zombie that we know today. Since then, he has spawned 11 movies, over 100 kills, and countless memorable moments till he was finally retired in 2003. Jason had done his job, and the franchise gave the audiences everything they could to the fans with Jason. There was nothing left to do until 2008 when it was decided to be rebooted. Fast forward to February and we have the remake of Friday the 13th. Now many critics have panned this movie and the general review of this movie seems to be a bad one, and I can't help but to agree. Now before the hardcore fans decide to get all jumpy and start flaming me, let me tell you that I did enjoy the movie. I'm a pretty easygoing movie fan and I was pretty mellow about the film, but I can't lie and say that it was great. To me, the movie was entertaining, but not great, nor a scary film. Now some may be scratching their heads thinking, he said it's entertaining, so doesn't that mean that it's good, dumbass? Well, entertaining doesn't mean good. A car wreck, both theoretical and physical, can be considered an entertaining sight, but that doesn't mean that it's a good one. Friday the 13th is the same way. It's entertaining like a car wreck, but it's not a great film. Now despite all of the movie's many flaws, it does have its ups and moments where it shines. Let's get through the cons of the movie first. There's way too much nudity in this movie. Now I know that Jason movies always have cleavage and naked girls in them, but this one takes the cake. Now some guys may not agree with me on this, since it's topless girls running around, which isn't horrible, but when you start replacing advancing storylines and plots with boobs, then we have a problem. I don't mind nudity at all, but don't replace storylines with nudity. It was almost as if the writers were like, hey, we don't know what to do next till Jason's next kill, so can we just put a bunch of breasts in it till Jason kills somebody? Another gripe of the film is that it doesn't learn from its cliche past. Now I know that it's a horror movie and that it's Jason, but it's been 20 years since the cliche horror movies of the 80s, and you would think that the creators behind this movie would have learned from that. I mean, you could literally predict each scene in the movie and what each character is going to say and how they're going to die. It's as if they were trying to embrace the clichéness of the 80s in the worst possible way. Acting is also poor with the exception of the two main characters in Jason, and dialogue was very poor for the majority of the cast. Most of the time, lines were just dick and fart jokes. Now I don't mind dick and fart jokes either, and I'm a Kevin Smith fan, so you know I enjoy them. But you have to remember that this is a horror movie and not a comedy, and that a dick joke isn't going to be something that you'll say in the midst of a killer. Being a combination of multiple films, the movie's story was way too simple and the death scenes were not creative and pretty boring. Also, the movie was lacking in the gore department and Jason isn't known for using little gore. On top of that, the lack of tense music takes you away from the movie and kills off the novelty of the Jason franchise. Now that we got all the bad out of the way, let's get to the good parts. Jason's new look is excellent and probably the best look he's had in his run of movies. Also, running was a great idea. This adds a sense of fear and tension to his scenes, as I never found it scary being chased by a man who slowly walks towards his victims. The movie also combines the first 4 Friday the 13th films as one, and this brings something fresh to the film and forces the creators to truly think of something new and great, since they can no longer take anything from the past movies since they used all 4 in one shot. Unless they want to make something really, really bad and stupid. Oh god, I think I just gave Hollywood a horrible idea. Anyway, Jason is now smarter and this is a great idea. The guy's some kind of survival expert now, and when you think about it, being chased by a madman with such skills is a scary concept. I mean, how would you avoid an outdoors expert who knows the ins and outs of an area? Also, the developing transition into the masked Jason we come to know and love and making him human was a plus for me. Zombie Jason was great, but let's face it, a real person is scarier than a zombie, because we know that a real person can go nuts and attempt to kill you in real life. I know a zombie won't jump me in a bad area at night in reality, but the same can't be said for a real person. Usually this doesn't really matter, but since we're dealing with a person and not a monster, things change, and this aspect does matter. The ending was just, giving the movie a nice setup for a sequel while being able to leave it as so the movie can go either way judging by its ending. As you can see, the movie is very hit and miss. It has many bad aspects, but makes up for them as well. Think of this movie as taking 2 steps forwards and 1 step backwards. That's how it works. So if you're looking for a good entertaining movie to watch or time spent with a group or friends, then check this movie out and I'm sure you should have a good time. But if you're looking for something scary or better than the original 4 movies, then you just may be out of luck. Friday the 13th gets an 8 out of 10.